This episode of the Friends of Beauty podcast is sponsored by Buddy Love Delights. Buddy Love Delights is a health and wellness company that specializes in the cannabis infusion of drinks, foods, and desserts. They provide CBD products for clients strictly looking for the healing and medicinal qualities of the hemp plant. Additionally, they also provide THC for clients who desire a top-notch euphoric experience with cannabis. And all I'm gonna say is, you gotta try the lemonades, okay? Buddy Love Delights products are all natural, made with organic ingredients, and most importantly, made with love. You can contact Buddy Love Delights directly via a phone call or text at 202-471-9838 or send them a DM on Instagram at Buddy Love Delights. Make sure to follow Buddy Love Delights to keep up with new products and upcoming events. So now let's go ahead and jump into the episode.
I think it's also because people don't know. They don't know. The people, and there's so much information out on the internet, and it's like, oh, all you gotta do is create this product. But then it's like, how you gonna sell it? Who you gonna sell it to, right? Or, you see those posts where it's like, $100,000 is this amount per day. And it's like, okay, but how you gonna make that per day, right? What is the offer? What do you wanna lead people to? There's a lot more to selling a product than just creating a product.
Welcome to the Friends in Beauty podcast, a safe space for ambitious beauty industry creatives to have real talk, get real answers, and practical tools to grow their businesses. My name is Ep.80 Robinson, and I'm a makeup artist, beauty educator, and the creator of Friends in Beauty. I created Friends in Beauty to support like-minded creatives, just like you, on their quest to connect, network, and build genuine relationships within the beauty community. Join me every week as me and my special guests reveal the keys to success and longevity in the beauty industry, and most importantly, have fun while doing it. You ready? Hey, what's up? It's your best friend in beauty, Ep.80 Robinson. Welcome back to another episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast. I am so happy to have you here with me, and I hope you're listening to this episode in high spirits and in good health. If you are a friend in beauty, I welcome you to join the Friends in Beauty Facebook community. If you're looking for a community of like-minded, ambitious friends in beauty to virtually connect with, network, and share resources, then click the link down below in the show description to join our community, and I'll be there to welcome you with open arms. Also, follow Friends in Beauty on all social media platforms at Friends in Beauty. What I like to do is something called the Friends in Beauty Friday feature, where every Friday I spotlight a different friend in beauty and their accomplishments. So no matter how big or small you think it is, I'm going to shout you out. I'm going to send you some good vibes. So all you have to do is use the hashtag FIB Friday feature, tag Friends in Beauty on something that you have accomplished, and I'll share it with the community. Additionally, tune into the Friends in Beauty podcast after party on IG Live every Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I share my different gems and takeaways from the previous day's episode and also give you an opportunity to do the same. Additionally, the Friends in Beauty podcast is available on several platforms. We're on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google, YouTube, you name it, we are there. And whatever platform you're listening from, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into the Friends in Beauty podcast. I truly appreciate you so much, and I would love it even further if you took the time to leave a 5-star rating, a review, a comment, a like, a share, a subscribe, something to let me know how you feel about the Friends in Beauty podcast. And last but not least, the most important thing is to share the Friends in Beauty podcast with your other friends in beauty, your family, your friends, anybody that you think could benefit from the information that is being shared. Share away to help me grow the Friends in Beauty community. Now, on this episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast, I welcome Tara Paton to the Friends in Beauty guest chair. Tara Paton is a marketing strategist, consultant, and coach for e-commerce product-based brands. She helps business owners double their revenue so they can consistently achieve 5-figure months and position their brands to grow and scale. For 14 years, she worked within major corporations and startups, launching and scaling million-dollar products for brands like L'Oreal, Pureology, Redken, and Matrix, while also establishing sales strategies that made Fortune 500 companies like American Express and Whole Foods millions. Her signature program, Positioned to Profit, has helped her clients triple their revenue, achieve 4-figure days, 5-figure months, improve conversion rates, and turn visitors into long-term loyal customers. When she's not working with entrepreneurs, she's usually in her garden, spending time with her husband, or enjoying some good vegan food. As a former head of marketing and sales, Tara understands the importance of creating a customized marketing and sales strategy to give your e-commerce brand a competitive edge. I really enjoyed this chat with Tara, and I told her I know this is an episode that I'm going to listen to multiple times, and I encourage you to take some notes as well. During this interview, Tara shares exactly how she's been helping her clients get to the coins and take their e-commerce brands to the next level, common marketing principles that most of us overlook, what marketing is not, the steps you should take prior to launching your beauty product, and so much more. So come on in and get some of this expert knowledge. Let's go ahead and jump into this chat with Tara. And if you prefer to watch our beautiful faces during this interview, then tune in on YouTube. Enjoy. Welcome to the Friends in Beauty podcast, Tara.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you here because what you do specifically for people in the beauty industry is something that I don't really see a lot. So I'm really excited to learn more about your business and then dive into what that really means for people in the beauty industry.
Awesome.
Yes, but before we get started, I have to ask you some icebreaker questions just to get us warmed up, and then also just for, I guess, the Friends in Beauty audience to get to know you a little bit outside of what you do professionally.
Okay.
All right. So the first one is just give us 3 random facts about you.
3 random facts. Okay. I am from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Almost 2 years ago, my husband and I had a surprise wedding. Nobody knew anything about it. Not our parents, not our siblings, nobody. And 3 random facts. I went to Morgan State University for undergrad. So I'm an advocate, a huge advocate for HBCU education. And I always tell everyone, if it was not for me going to Morgan State, I would not be who I am today.
Awesome. I love that. Outside of what you do professionally, what do people always tell you that you're good at?
I guess my friends would say that I am good at listening, encouraging. You know, I always take time to listen to what's going on and get perspectives, and I can see things from different angles. So it's like, your girlfriend called you like, yo, this dude is on my nerves. I'm like, okay, well, let's look at it from this lens, right? Like, is it really what you think it is, or is it something else? So I have a really good ability to look at things from multiple perspectives and calm people down.
That's a good gift.
Yeah.
That's an awesome gift to have. Next one is, when is the last time that you did something for the first time?
The last time, that's a good question. Okay, let me think about this. The last time that I did something for the first time. Wow.
I love asking that question because people really have to think about it, because we get in our routines of being comfortable and just doing same old. But
the last time that I did something for the first time, oh man.
I could tell you one that I did while you think.
Yeah, tell me one that you did while I'm thinking.
So maybe about 2 weeks ago, I sang karaoke in public for the first time. I've never
really
done it before. No.
Did you have a good time?
I did have a good time. I'm normally that person that likes to just watch people and observe and everything. But I was like, it wasn't a lot of people there that day, so I was a little bit more comfortable.
That's cool. That's exciting. Wow, Akwi, you might have stumped me. I'm sure that there's something that I've done for the first time recently, or
Well, we're gonna come back to it.
Let's come back to that. Wow.
Yeah, if you think about it throughout the interview, be like, oh my God, I remember.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all good. So I had these things called pod decks.
Okay.
That my sister got for me during the holiday time. And this is a what the heck deck, and this is a would you rather deck. And then they also have interview decks too that are really cool to give you different questions to ask during the interview or different topics. But I love these two. Random questions. Which one would you like? Would you rather or what the heck?
What the heck?
It may be crazy. Look, I tell people all the time. I
I'm here
started
for it.
incorporating these cards, I'd be like, who came up with this? Like, this is
I am
really
here for it.
what the heck? All right, let me see what it's going to give me. Oh, this is cute. Okay. If you could have anything named after you, what would you want it to be?
Oh, that's a good question. I would want, if I could have anything named after me, what would it be? I think I would want a center named after me, and it would be a center for women to come, connect, network, right? There's not really, as I'm thinking through it and where I am right now in entrepreneurship, one of the things I'm being very intentional about, as I'm building my business, is making connections.
Mm-hmm.
And there aren't really a lot of spaces for us to do that in person, like given, pandemic and everything aside, there aren't really a lot of spaces for us to do that. And so I would have a center named after me because I really, truly believe that we are stronger together. The more that we know each other, the more that we are connected with each other, the more that we have an opportunity to help build each other up and also grow together.
I love that. And that's one of the reasons I created Friends in Beauty too, because it started off as networking events, because I was coming into contact with a lot of people who did not have like other beauty industry friends. Like you got your regular friends, you got your family, but it's nothing like connecting with those people who are like in the same position as you, that kind of understand like the challenges, the ups, the downs, and all of that. So that would be so cool. A center.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Yeah. The last one, if you weren't an e-commerce marketing strategist right now, what else could you see yourself doing?
I would own a farm.
Oh, yes.
And it's still a dream of mine. So last year we started gardening. My husband and I gardened in our backyard. This year we did not get to it. But I've always said when I have children, I want to live on a farm. So I would be on the farm, growing vegetables and fruits, giving some of it away, selling it, just living off the land.
I love that. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I told you I tried my hand at some gardening.
No.
Yes, I did pretty good. I got some okra, I got some tomatoes. I have 2 watermelons down there.
Really? Our watermelons didn't make it.
I was so surprised. I came home one day and I saw the little tiny watermelon like hanging over the balcony, and I was like, oh my God, it's something there. I was so excited.
Yeah, I think you have a better chance at growing watermelons because you're further south. It's the climate and stuff. Because we're in Jersey, we had it. It grew to like this size, but it just didn't. It wasn't right.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, mine's, I don't know how big it's gonna get, but I'm just excited that something actually grew, because my thumb used to be brown.
So that's a good thing. So congratulations on the garden.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your icebreakers. We learned a little bit about you. I would love to just jump into the interview and learn more about you. I would have to tell the Friends of Beauty audience how we met though. I did talk about, I think on my last episode, I talked about like the investments that I've been making in myself recently. And Tara and I met during the 5-day podcast, Launch Your Podcast Challenge with David Shands. And I was telling them it was like a few of us in there that was kind of like beauty industry-ish. And I love going into those kind of spaces because a lot of the times you won't find a lot of people in the beauty industry in like entrepreneurial spaces. So we definitely stand out. So you definitely stood out to me when I saw you, and there's a few other people. I'm like, oh, they're in the beauty industry. Like we should definitely connect. So that speaks to the power of networking as well. The fact that we connected in that group, and then now you're on the podcast.
Absolutely. Yes.
And then the other thing that I told you, I have to tell the Friends of Beauty audience, is that I used to see your ads all the time. Like I'm sure there's a screenshot in my phone.
Of my ads.
Yeah, so when you reached out to me, I went to your page. I said, that's the girl from the ads. I called my mother. I was like, look, because you look like somebody that we know. So every time I would see your ad, I'm like, no, that's not her.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I have a screenshot of you somewhere in my phone.
Nice.
But yes, I would love for you to tell us a little bit about what you do for your clients.
Yes. So I am a marketing strategist. business consultant and coach for e-commerce beauty brands, product-based brands. And essentially what I do is, or essentially clients come to me, right? They come to me when they're at a place in business because their sales are declining.
Mm-hmm.
Their sales are either declining, their sales have hit a plateau, right? They're bringing in the same amount of revenue every month, or they're starting to see their sales turn into a roller coaster. 1 month is up, 1 month is down, and they don't really know what's going on. They don't really have a sense of why this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I do with my clients is I help them take a step back and assess what is the issue, what is causing these changes in sales or no change at all in sales. And I help them put together a comprehensive marketing strategy that they can use for 12 months. And so a lot of my clients, right? And probably a lot of your listeners, if you have a product-based brand, especially in beauty, you start off with just focusing on the product. And a lot of people run to the internet, right? We just talked about ads. They're like, oh, what is the quickest way I can start telling people about my product? They start to run ads. And that was cool, a few years ago when ads were significantly cheaper than they are now. But what you miss, and you can make a lot of money, right? Running ads if you're running ads the right way. But what a lot of people miss is they don't really have the foundation for their business. They don't have any sense of, what journey is their customer going through? How are they going to gain customers and then also retain customers? And so I help them really take a step back, assess their business, set a true marketing strategy that they can use again for 12 months, and they can just repeat this year after year after year.
I love that. 12 months. That's a big deal because normally a lot of programs I go through, I don't even know if they give you a strategy for real, but 12 months is a big deal. And that you could wash, rinse, and repeat it over and over again.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you have any client success stories that stand out to you?
Absolutely. I have a few. So I had a client come to me. They had started last year. So in 2020, in the first 6 months of business, they made $100,000. Now that sounds awesome, right? Revenue, $100,000. But the issue was when they came to me, they didn't know where that money went. They were like, we made 100,000. And I'm like, well, how did you make the 100,000? They ran ads, right? So they ran these ads. It cut into their profit margin. And essentially they were, it was a partnership that was running this business. They were like, look, we want to be able to pay ourselves. We want to be able to invest in our business. And we also don't want to have to run a sale just to make money. Right. They were running a sale for every single holiday known to man, just to make money. And that's how they made money. Ads, running sales. Yeah. And so what you can imagine is their profit margins were cut into significantly. So, they came to me at a time when they were doing an entire rebrand of their website and their packaging. They were also launching a new product and then getting ready for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, which was their first Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So I worked together with them, developed their marketing strategy, put things in place for them, especially for the next, it was Q4 of last year. And they made $7,000 in 4 days. And they saw the profit of that, right? Because they weren't just running ads. They weren't just giving out discounts to make money. And the beauty of it is, fast forward to a year later, they reached out to me in July of this year with a question about their holiday promotions that they were planning for this year. And I'm like, y'all already planning a holiday? And they were like, yeah, like we learned from the best. So that is the success to me, right? When I can set a brand up to prepare in advance and think strategically ahead of the curve for what they want to do for a significant, Q4 is significant for all retailers, especially online retailers. So to have them reach out to me in July and say, hey, we're thinking about this for our promotions. Like, what do you think? Yeah. And I'm like, y'all already planning holiday? Like that to me, I was like, that's the win. Yes, they're making money. Yes, they're profitable. Yes, they're paying themselves. Great, but they can do it over and over and over again. And that's what they're doing.
I love that. That's so exciting when you see your students actually implementing and getting results.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Is it a such thing as planning too far ahead when it comes to marketing?
I don't think so. No, it's no such thing as planning too far ahead. So, with the 12-month marketing strategy that I help my clients produce, you have the plan in place, but you take it in chunks, right? So, you have a sense of what you want to do 12 months from now, but you got to start from the beginning and you start diving deep into what's going to happen in the next 3 months, the next 60 to 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no such thing as planning too far in advance, because what happens is time moves so quickly, things happen, life happens, right? And so you don't want there to be a time where something comes up and you don't have a plan.
Right.
Right. Because if something comes up and you have a team or you're working with a marketing agency, they can always go to the plan and say, okay, well, Aquia is out this month because of whatever. We know that this month, these are the things that we're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it really allows you to run your business without you being there.
Right. I love that. And that's one of the things I'm working on. I talked to you about that,
Yeah.
like running my business without me being so hands-on in it is really the key to all these businesses, for real.
Yes. Yeah.
At the end of the day, are there any aha moments that you've seen any of your students have as a result of being in your coaching program or taking the course? Like things that they were like, dang, like I didn't even realize I was supposed to be doing that.
That's a good question. There are a lot of aha moments. I think the first aha moment is how much more you need to know about your target customer than you currently do.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually the first thing. They're like, wow, I didn't think about, the lifestyle of my target customer. I really was not, and I didn't know how to connect that to my marketing, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know how understanding that information about them would connect to my marketing that would then resonate with them more when they see me on social media or when I'm emailing them, right? And once they get through that, it's like you don't feel like you're selling at all. You don't feel like you're trying to get people to buy things. You're really just building a relationship with your customers.
Mm-hmm.
That's one major aha moment. The second major aha moment comes when they get into looking at their pricing and revenue strategy. A lot of people ain't charging enough.
Okay.
and they're not accounting for all of their expenses. And so when they get to that step, that phase, they're like, wow, like if I really want to make money, I need to raise my prices.
Right.
And so I think those are the two major ahas that people have. And once you get those things in place, and you got your plan and your strategy together, you're good.
I love that. So for like the people who come to you that already have their business in place and then they realize, oh, I'm not charging enough, or certain things are off when it comes to, I guess, the people that they're trying to reach, do they end up losing customers? I guess that's what I'm trying to ask. Like, do they end up losing customers because they didn't really know who they were going after at first, and then they raised the price, and then that's out of whoever was supporting them at that time's like price range that they want to spend? Like, have you seen that happen?
I haven't. And I'll tell you a story. One of my clients, she worked with me last year. She was the most apprehensive about raising her prices. Mm-hmm. And I was like, look, you get it. You see the numbers, you see the breakdown, right? And so she sent an email. We worked together, put together a strategy for how she was going to communicate it, give people time to get familiar that the prices were going to raise. And she sent the email out to her customers, and people started responding and saying, it's about time.
Yeah. Oh,
like you're not charging enough. Like
right.
It's about time you raise these prices. So her customers were telling her, you need to raise these prices. Like you're not charging enough. But sometimes, as entrepreneurs, we get in our heads about things and we think about it from the perspective of us. Like, well, if they raise their prices, I'm not going to pay them anymore.
Right.
But that's not you. And that's why the target customer, understanding who they are, is really important, because they're not you. They're not thinking like you, right? And so you really, really have to know your people. And so, she sent that email out. They were like, okay.
Okay.
Raising
Right.
prices. Like it's about time.
Yeah.
So I haven't had any clients that have lost a significant amount of customers. Of course, you're going to have some people who are like, oh, I'm not paying that anymore. But if they've already bought into your brand, if they're already connected to it, if your products are doing what they say they're going to do, then they're going to keep paying for it.
Right. With the people that you help, how important is it for them to build a brand based off of not the products, but like the lifestyle, I guess, that people are trying to achieve?
It's of the utmost importance. So it really comes down to a few things, right? So it comes down to, when you think about your brand, your business, what is the personality that brand is going to have?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't think about their brand in terms of having a personality. And that is what really brings things to life. That is what shows the lifestyle. That is what connects with your customers. You absolutely need to have a great product, right? You absolutely need to have a great product, but that's not the end all be all. That's not what's going to make you sales. So if you develop the product and you just post your products and think that that's going to move people, it's not. You got to show people, what is this product going to do for them? Mm-hmm. Whether I work with candle brands as well. So, when you light a candle, what are you doing when that candle is lit? Are you taking a bath? Are you, do you feel like you're on a tropical island based off of the fragrance, the scent, right? So paint that picture. It's all about painting that picture. That's what marketing is. You have to paint the picture for your audience, for your potential customers and your existing customers. So it is absolutely important to sell the lifestyle, but it's not just any lifestyle. It's the lifestyle that your customers will achieve as a result of using your products.
Love that. I'm having aha moments myself over here. Like that, it makes total sense, because I don't know if I've ever heard it broken down into that way before, because I think a lot of people in the beauty industry, when they think about lifestyle, they're kind of more so trying to get people to like be like them, like painting a picture that, okay, like this is the life that you want, but not necessarily the picture of like, this is what this product is going to like do for you in your life.
Right. So again, it always goes back to, if you're the owner, you're not your target audience. So you may live a certain life, right? And you may have created your product because you had a personal need, but that doesn't mean that your customers want to live the same lifestyle that you live, right? That's just like me. Take me, for example. I'm vegan. I've been vegan for over 10 years. I'm very much into wellness and health and things like that. That doesn't mean that my clients are into that, right? They want to get a marketing strategy. That doesn't mean that they want to live the lifestyle that I live, right? So we have to start separating ourselves from the brands that we're building. The brands that we're building are directly built to help a particular person, your ideal customer, not you. Now, you very well may fit into the profile of who your ideal customer is, but you should not use yourself to make decisions in a silo. You really got to leverage your actual ideal customers and get the information from them on what they want, what they need, what they're looking for.
Got you. You mentioned the candles. What other kind of products are your clients selling online?
So we've worked with brands, a faux lock brand, candles, skincare, hair care, body care, bath, aromatherapy. I mean,
I love it.
Anything in the beauty and wellness space, essentially. Okay. Yeah.
So is it only for beauty and wellness, or can these principles be applied to like corsets and stuff?
So can they be applied to corsets? So in my program, right, that is very specifically for product-based brands, right? Any product-based brand can be in the program and get value out of it. Now, when you step into like one-on-one services that I offer, those can be applied to courses. However, I really focus on working with the entrepreneurs in the product-based space. Yeah. So some of the principles can be applied, but I I personally have not worked with folks that are not in that space.
Mm-hmm.
And I also am very conscious because I know some of the clients who have come to me came to me because they work with someone who was like, oh yeah, this will work for product-based brands. And it really didn't, because there are some differences in the two. So some of the high level principles, yes, can absolutely be applied. However, with my coaching and consulting, it's specific to product-based brands.
This episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast is brought to you by Touch Beauty Bar. Tamani is a licensed esthetician and makeup artist in the DMV area, as well as the owner of Touch Beauty Bar. Touch Beauty Bar provides full body waxing and specializes in Brazilian waxes. Tamani also makes a special treatment serum which helps keep away bumps, breakouts, ingrown hairs, and helps even out and brighten the skin tone in your bikini area. Waxing helps slow down hair growth, so you only have to worry about waxing once a month, which sounds pretty good to me, okay? So for more information or to book an appointment, head on over to www.touchbeautybar.com or follow Touch Beauty Bar on IG at touchbeauty.bar. Now, let's get back into the episode. Yeah, have you seen an increase in your enrollment since the pandemic? Because I know a lot of my friends in beauty have started like skincare brands, body care brands, all like during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So I have been doing this unofficially for 4 years, and I was still working in corporate. I went full-time last year in July. Mm-hmm. So I've been doing it a year. So that was in the middle of the pandemic, like when it was like very fresh. Yeah. And so, yes, there are lots of people who have started brands. Lots of people, like I said, my client has started last year, 6 months, made 100K. Lots of people who are starting brands, lots of people who have had brands for a few years that are looking at this as their opportunity to quit their 9-to-5, right? So they're really investing time, energy, and effort into making these viable businesses.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, that's so cool. So cool. What were you doing in corporate before marketing?
Which job? Because I had a bunch of jobs.
Like right before you made this decision to go full-time into this business, what were you doing?
Mm-hmm. Right before this, I was in sales for a tech startup. So I was traveling 3 weeks out of the month, going to visit my clients every week and building relationships, right? And so it was to a point where if I had a quota at the end of the month, I could call up one of my clients and say, hey, like, I got this quota, how much you got on it? And he'll be like, send me the invoice, so sales, I want people to understand, like, sales is really about relationship building. Right now, you may not do it in the way that I did it, where I was traveling to see clients, but you have to learn how to do that online. And the way you do that is by understanding your target customer. Mm-hmm. But I've had a couple lives in corporate. I used to work for L'Oreal, worked for, managed a few of their brands, Redken, Pureology, and Matrix. And then I did a stint at American Express, where I was managing a portfolio of clients, doing business development and marketing with them. And then that's how I got to the sales role.
Gotcha. Is marketing like your background? Is that what you went to school for?
It's what I went to get my MBA. I went to get my MBA, so right out of college, I was working at a financial services firm. And I realized I didn't want to be there for too long. It was like the stuffiest place, most conservative place ever. You had to wear stockings in the summertime if your ankles were showing. If your ankles were showing, okay? So I knew that was not for me for long term. So I started making my own hair care products. I started a hair care company. I had no idea what I was doing, but I fell in love with a marketing stint that I did at the finance job. And basically they were like, if you want to get into the marketing department here, you got to wait for somebody to die. So I was like, all right, I'm not doing that. So I decided to close down my business. I left the finance job, and I went to get my MBA, and I focused on marketing.
Got you. I love it.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to make that transition from your corporate job, your good old corporate job, into entrepreneurship? And what was that process like?
So it didn't happen like overnight, right? That story of me working at the finance job was the beginning of my journey. then I went to business school. Then I started working for L'Oreal, and then went along and did some other things until I went full time. But so taking it back to undergrad, I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I just didn't know what it looked like, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's why the journey is so beautiful. And I appreciate the entire journey because it got me to this place. So once I left L'Oreal, I had people reaching out to me, friends of friends, to help them with their marketing. Like, can you help me market my brand? Can you help me launch my brand, launch my products? And so I did that for a few years. And it was just kind of like, okay, I'm doing it. I didn't charge for it. I didn't really look at it as a business, so to speak. Until I worked with my nail artist. She wanted to launch a cuticle oil. And she was telling me about minimum order quantities and all this money she had to spend and how she was going to have thousands of products on hand. Yeah. And I was like, well, how are you going to sell it? Like, let's talk about that. Like, how are you going to market it and sell it? So I helped her develop a strategy for how she was going to market the products and sell them. And that was 2019. So fast forward, the beginning of 2020, we know the pandemic happened, which meant she could no longer see people in person to do nails. Right. So she had to launch the product. She launched the product, and it was the fastest selling product in her online store. Wow. So when that happened, I was like, okay, like this, I was like, yo, I could start charging for this. And so that's when it really clicked for me that this was what was meant for me. Like, this was how I was going to be an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. And along the way, like I said, I started a hair care company. I started a few other brands. I even started an app. I had an app, and nothing just really stuck. And I guess it was a part of my journey, a part of my process of learning and figuring out that it was meant for me to share what I know, to be able to coach and consult people that didn't have access to the resources. So that's what got me to this place.
I love that. Oh my gosh. So out of all of the, I guess, lanes that you could have gone in, why did you choose beauty as like e-commerce beauty brands as opposed to like clothing and like other things?
I'm not really a shopper. Like, I'm not even going front. I'm not a shopper, so that's not my lane. But I chose beauty particularly because I had worked for L'Oreal, right? That was my area. That was the reason why I went back to business school. I started my own beauty company. Yeah. And I went to school with the intention to launch my brand again, right? But as luck would have it, I started working for L'Oreal, and I learned on the inside a lot about beauty and products and consumer packaged goods and things like that. So that is what got me to beauty. Mm-hmm. You know, I didn't start off as crisp as far as like, I wasn't really niched when I started. But one of the things that I realized early on was I needed someone to coach me, to help me. So even though I'm a marketing strategist, right, yeah, I needed someone to kind of help me narrow down what it was that I needed to focus on and how I would make an impact.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, girl. I've had so many coaches.
Yes.
I think the challenge with me, with my coaches, is like, I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do for real at that time. So I have a lot of knowledge when it comes to things, but now since I'm a little bit more focused, but it's always like that. I think a lot of people try to just figure things out all the time, but you need a coach, like, especially if you're trying to move fast, you're trying to be, if you're trying to move fast and be intentional about like helping yourself and helping other people grow, you got to get a coach.
I think of it like this, right? So a part of the reason I went to business school, which was 2 years, was for me to launch my brand. But then I also realized if I didn't relaunch my brand, I would still 4 or 5x my income, my salary, right? That more than that what I was making at the finance job. So just thinking about it in terms of that, right? We go to college, or we get certifications, or we do whatever to accelerate us. And so it's the same thing with coaching. I would not be here today had I not hired a coach. I would still be trying to figure things out. My messaging wouldn't be clear. I wouldn't be talking to the right people, and I probably wouldn't be excited about what I'm doing and what I'm building and what I'm helping other people to build. Right. And so sometimes you really just need somebody with an outside perspective to be like, oh, okay, like you want to do this, but no, this is what you should really focus on. And that's what my coach did for me. I started out, I wanted to do like self-care stuff. And essentially one of her first exercises was write out all your areas of expertise. And she was like, you want to do self-care stuff, but you help a brand launch globally and they made $37 million. She was like, you
tripping.
That don't make sense. She was like, what are we doing here? So when you get somebody to look with a different lens that has, they're not, they don't know you, nothing, right? They're not attached. They're like, I think you should probably focus on this, right? Yeah. So I think it's very important to invest in coaches, but also know what you are, have an expectation of what you want to receive out of the relationship.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I do want to ask you some more questions about marketing, because I think this is an area where people get confused a little bit. Mm-hmm. So in your opinion, like what is marketing and like what is marketing not?
Good question. So let's talk about what marketing is not, because I feel like a lot of people think that this is marketing and it's not. Marketing is not posting content on social media. That is the final step, right? That is how you promote. That is the final step. Mm-hmm. Marketing is essentially understanding who you're talking to, having a clear message that you're speaking to them, that you're going to use to speak to that person, and also understanding where you're going to speak to them and share this message. Mm-hmm. That is marketing. How are you going to get it out? And then there's a promotional element about it. Like that's when the promotions and the advertisements come in. Right. So until you understand who you're talking to, where you're talking to them, how you're talking to them, what you're talking to them about, you don't really have a foundation in marketing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Not always, because it's just so much, like operating a business, marketing, advertising, knowing, but it all boils down to knowing your client though. And I always tell people, this is one thing that I know for sure that a lot of people in the beauty industry don't take the time to do. And I'm like, every other business model has some kind of ideal client avatar and everything. And we really just don't take the time to figure out who it is, not necessarily people that just come to us naturally, but who do we want? Like, who do we want to serve?
Who do we want?
Yes.
Yes. Who do we want? Yes.
Who do we want to serve? So when it comes to marketing, I think I asked you this though, like would you say like the marketing principles are pretty like universal?
Yes. So the marketing principles are absolutely universal. Yes. Okay. When you, yes. So the marketing principles are very much universal, but when you get into offers, that's when it's going to be a little different. So for example, for a product-based brand, you can do a buy one, get one free promotion, right? I mean, I guess you could do it for a service-based brand too. If you have multiple offers, if you have multiple products that you can offer, you could do buy one, get one free. So yeah, the marketing principles are pretty much, they're pretty much universal. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, what are some key components of marketing that people should be focused on? Knowing their client, but coming up with a plan.
Yes, you need a plan like that. I mean, it sounds very simple, right? People try to overcomplicate it. It's like, okay, I need a plan, but like, what's in the plan? The plan is, what are you promoting every month? What are you going to focus on every month? Whether it be a best-selling product, whether it be an offer such as a bundle or some sort of deal, whether it be, a special day that you're going to promote and drive awareness around, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the plan, right? And so one of the things that also I think people miss out in marketing is creating campaigns. Because it all sounds like, okay, like I can do this offer in January and I could just create content for it. But what's the campaign, right? You have to build up anticipation for what it is that you are marketing, that you're promoting. And that is campaign planning, right? A campaign is going to build up that anticipation. It's going to get people excited. It's going to attract customers. It's going to keep them engaged, right? And so there's 6 different campaigns that I focus on inside of my coaching program to help people put a sense around what am I going to do, right? And that makes it very easy for you to plan for your marketing for the next, 12 months, 3 to 6 months, whatever, however long you're trying to do it for. So it's like, okay, I know I want to focus on this. What campaign am I going to use to actually get me there? What campaign am I going to use to actually hit this goal that I have for the sales for my brand, right? Campaign planning makes it so much easier.
I love that. Aside from yourself, are there any other resources that you could recommend that can help people with their marketing?
There is a book, Marketing Made Simple, that I would recommend for people if you're trying to read and learn more about marketing, and get an understanding of like the language and things like that. I would say start there. I don't like to overwhelm people with a whole lot of things. I would do Marketing Made Simple. Yeah.
Marketing Made Simple.
Get that book. Yeah.
Are you familiar with Audrea Richmond?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, she has a book too that I read, and it like lays out like a whole marketing plan in that thing. So that's why I'm wondering if like marketing plans are like, is it like a template basically for marketing?
So I don't know what is in her marketing template that she lays out.
I don't even have the book near me. It's just like, it's like a 20-step process that kind of speaks to like some of the stuff that you talked about, like, because the whole book is pretty much like the marketing plan. But then at one chapter, she breaks down each thing, and it's kind of like all the elements of like knowing your client, like narrowing down your offers, and then determining like how you're going to deliver that offer, and then having like that pre-launch phase, or like building up the anticipation and stuff, like you said. Like it's like a whole thing. It's a really good book though. I enjoyed it.
So yeah, if for most folks, and I don't know her background as far as like if she had a corporate career or not, but for most things in corporate, so I have a CPG background, but most times we use the template, right? We use the template to come up with our marketing plan.
Yeah.
There is a template, right? And I guess you could put your own spin on it. And it sounds like she's put her own spin on it, just as I've put my own spin on it, and also have used it to work with other brands. So you sort of get to see, when you work with different brands, a lot of the stuff that they're going through is similar, right? And so even though they feel like their issues are different or unique, or they're a unicorn, it's really not. Yeah. So yeah, there is definitely a template for marketing, but do people want to learn it?
Right.
Right. Are people interested in it? Right. So yeah, there's definitely templates that you can use for marketing.
Yeah. In your experience with working with like the bigger brands, has there ever been a time where you came up with like a marketing strategy, and you all, or the whole team came up with something, and when you put it out there, it didn't really like hit the way that you all expected it to?
Yes, but we always had a backup because everything that we put out there was tied to a goal, right? And those would be smaller things. Those would be like small things that we were testing.
Okay.
At the end of the day, when I was in corporate, we were doing things that we knew worked, because you did not want to come to the end of the month and not hit your sales goal, right? So we would do these little micro tests for things that we were thinking, right, of implementing in the next year or changing. So absolutely. I mean, marketing is testing. And what you find, especially for newer brands, is you are testing everything. You don't know what's going to work. Now, some of the more established brands I've worked for and worked with, I can look back at their history and say, okay, these are the things that work. These are the things that we need to keep doing. But let's also test these other things that are either happening in the industry or relevant to your business, and see how these work with your audience.
I absolutely love it because I always tell my audience too, I invested in Marquell Russell's program.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like associated with David Shands too. But one of the things that he always used to tell us is that everything is a hypothesis. Like I will never forget that.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is a hypothesis. So even when we were running ads or making posts or just doing anything, we used to have to do like these videos, like the type of videos you do where you just talk about, your offer or whatever, or break down little chunks and stuff. He will always say that everything's a hypothesis because we don't know what's going to happen. Like
Mm-hmm.
everything is a test. So I always
Mm-hmm.
keep that in mind. And it kind of takes a lot of the pressure off of yourself too with coming up with these ideas. Because we always had these ideas, like
Mm-hmm.
it's going to work. And
Always
then when
got
we
an
put it out
idea.
and it doesn't work, we're like, oh my gosh, like I thought this was like the best thing ever, but it's
Mm-hmm.
everything is a test.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Everything is a test. And if you approach it in that way, you won't be burnt out.
Mm-hmm.
And then also what you have to realize is if it didn't work the first time, like say you did something in January, it didn't work. Maybe it'll work in July. Maybe it'll work in December, right? It's not all lost. Maybe it's timing. So like every element of it is a test. The offer, the timing, the positioning, the messaging, the packaging, everything is being tested.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. For your students, what was I going to ask you? Oh my God, for your students, this is so crazy. It was such a good question too.
Think about it.
I know, right? I know one of the things I wanted to ask about was like their methods of shipping. Like, do you teach them a certain method of like doing drop shipping versus like fulfilling orders themselves?
No, I don't get into the shipping, drop shipping versus doing shipping yourself, whatever your preference is.
Got
Yeah.
you. Okay. Hey, there was something else. It might come back
It's
to
gonna
me.
come back.
It might come back to me. Oh my God. So how do you, oh, that's what it was. Because I was about to ask you how you efficiently run your business behind the scenes. But as far as your students in your course, do you kind of go into like the type of people they should have in place to like run their e-commerce brands? Are most of them running it by themselves, or do they have like some kind of support team to help them?
So in the course, no, but in my one-on-one, yes, because and so the difference between the course and the one-on-one, the course is primarily for people who have been in business for 3 years or less. They're making less than $10,000 a month, and or they've ran ads and the ads are no longer working, so they really kind of need to re-strategize and get a baseline for their marketing strategy, right? And then for my one-on-one, these are people that I work with who are making anywhere between $7,000 and $10,000 a month or more. And they have someone on staff who is doing their marketing, or they're looking to hire someone that can come in to do marketing for them, or they're looking to outsource it to a marketing agency.
Gotcha.
And so we go into detail about what you need to have in place before you start hiring, before you outsource your marketing to a marketing agency, so that one, you don't hire these people and feel like you're not getting results because you didn't have a clear plan. Right. A lot of times what I find with my clients that I work one-on-one with is that they're not getting the results that they seek because they were not clear in communicating to the team or the marketing agency what it was that they wanted. And it all comes back to your strategy. It all comes back to that plan. So we go into, like, if they want to hire people, we go into what to look for, how to look for these people that you're hiring, and how to, work with them so that you get the best results.
Okay. So why should someone choose you or your course versus something else that might be out there?
They should choose my course based on if they feel like it's going to give them what they need, right? And so a lot of times people buy courses or enroll in courses and you feel like that is it. That's all you need to do. I'm not going to front. My course is a lot of hard work. But when you get to the other side of it, you're going to be so confident in what you have to offer and who you have to offer it to. And you're going to have that plan. And again, you can repeat it, rinse and repeat, do it over and over and over again. So yeah, it's basically what you feel comfortable with. Who do you feel comfortable with? and be very clear on the expectations that you have for the course. So, I'm sure there's tons of courses out there that people can enroll in. So you really got to just figure out what is the best for you personally, right? Don't pick it because of me. Don't do that. I'm gonna just say that right now. Do not pick my course because of me. Pick the course because you are going to get something from it, right? And be very clear with yourself about what it is you're going to get. Now, if that doesn't align with what's on the page when you look at it, then it's not the course for you, right? If it does align, then it's the course for you.
Got you. Is there like an open enrollment period, or can people enroll in your course at any time?
People can enroll at any time. It's open now, forever.
And I would definitely leave all the links for that down below. Is this helpful for people who have an idea for a beauty product that they want to do, or should they already be like in business already?
Absolutely. So if you have an idea for a product, right, that you have not put together yet, I actually advocate that you do the course first or in tandem as you're developing the product. Because what happens is a lot of people come to me after they've developed the product, and then they go through the course and they're like, damn, I got to change all this stuff because now it's not in alignment with who I thought my customer was, right? Or I made all these decisions based on me, and now I'm realizing that's not who I'm targeting, right? That's not who I want to attract. So I would say if you're thinking about starting a beauty brand, if you're thinking about creating products, you should spend just as much time either on the front end or in tandem while you're developing that product. And here's the secret. When I was at L'Oreal, we would do all of the stuff in the course first before we developed any products.
Right.
Before we created any labels, before we created any logos, right? All of the marketing strategy was done in advance. And that's what I really want to help people understand, right? The marketing strategy informs what the product looks like. It informs what the formulation is. It informs the language that goes on the packaging. It informs all of that. So absolutely, if they haven't started with their, product development, they should absolutely enroll in the course.
I love that what you said, because I think we're just so anxious these days just to be bosses. Like everybody want to be a boss. So we just go and throw this product out here and not worry about who it's for. We just go and put it up. We go on because it's me. They're going to buy it. They're going to buy it. So, when we don't get the sales, and it's like, oh, shucks, I should have invested in Tara.
Right. Or, find somebody to help you. Right. And I think it's also because people don't know. They don't know the people, and there's so much information out on the internet, and it's like, oh, all you got to do is create this product. But then it's like, how you going to sell it? Who you going to sell it to? Right. Or, you see those posts where it's like $100,000 is this amount per day. And it's like, okay, but how you going to make that per day? Right. What is the offer? What do you want to lead people to? There's a lot more to selling a product than just creating the product.
When it comes to selling beauty products online, are there funnels involved?
Absolutely. Like there's no question. There's absolutely a funnel. You need a funnel for new customers. You need a funnel for your existing customers. You need a funnel for engagement. Like there's absolutely funnels, right? And that's a part of the customer buyer's journey. You need to understand what that looks like. And once you understand what that looks like and what you're leading people to, you definitely need to have funnels in place.
Ooh, I'm telling you. I don't know. Once they figure out what's involved in operating these brands, some people might not want to do it.
And you know what? That is also, like, if that's your intention in enrolling in the course and you say, okay, I want to know if this is really what I want to do. And you realize you don't want to do it, you've gotten your investment back because you realize it's not for you.
You saved a lot of time and a lot of money.
You save so much money versus working with a manufacturer, paying thousands of dollars for minimum order quantities, having inventory sitting in your house. I would much rather you get the course, go through it and say, okay, this is what I want to do, and then invest that money versus investing that money and then saying, well, I've already invested that money. I can't even invest to figure out what my marketing strategy is. Like, I'm over it. I don't want a marketing strategy. Somebody last year came to me. She was, burnt out, stressed out. She had spent, I want to say $30,000 on creating her products. 30,000. And she was to a point where she did not enroll in my course because she was so spent. And she hadn't even told her husband about this money that she spent.
Oh, man.
So she was not going to invest a couple $1,000s to figure out the marketing strategy for the $30,000 of product that she had sitting in her garage.
She better figure it out and get rid of that product.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, if you did it in the reverse, you spend a couple thousand, figure out, get a solid strategy, figure out what you want to do, how you want to market it, all that stuff. And you maybe even figure out a way inside the community to not even have to invest $30,000 to start it up, right? Because there are resources inside of there that the community shares on how to, different manufacturers to work with and things like that. So, invest a smaller amount now and then take the next step. Yeah. But sometimes people are like, I'm going all in, but you got to really order your steps and how you want to go all in.
Yeah.
It broke my heart. It broke my heart because I'm like, I understand. I totally get it. I empathize and I'm here for you when you're ready, when and if you're ready. But she was like, I'm out.
Oh, poor thing. Yeah. Hopefully after she sits on it for a little bit, she'll have a change of heart.
Yeah, I hope so. Or she said she was going to just try to like sell it at events and stuff, just try to get her money back.
Yeah.
So I hope that she did that.
Oh man. Last question about your program. It just came to me. I've seen this concept of hero products.
Yes.
Are you suggesting that people launch with hero products or like a limited quantity? I know when people launch businesses a lot of time with products, they try to get like a whole line at like one time. They want to launch with like 10 products. Like, what's your recommendation?
Yes, yes, and yes. If you are starting a brand, right, and you're launching with more than 3 products, it's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. And especially if those 3 products cannot be put together in a system, it's too much. So I advocate, right? If you're starting a brand, launch with 1, right? Pepsi didn't start out with Pepsi, Cherry Pepsi, Frito-Lay. Like, they didn't start out with all of, they started with 1 product, 1 product, right? And then they grew from there. It's also one of the things, do you follow Mess in the Bottle?
Yeah.
The t-shirt brand?
I just had on one of her shirts yesterday.
So one of the things that she mentioned was, and I think it was an investor or maybe she was on Shark Tank or something like that. I'm mixing it up, but whoever gave her the advice, they were like, focus on t-shirts for 5 years. Just do t-shirts. That's it. Only t-shirts, right? And then branch out. That advice is stellar because so many people, entrepreneurs especially, you're like, okay, I gotta have this, I gotta have the body care, the skincare, the hair care, I gotta have all this, but you don't even know who you're selling the skincare to. You don't even know who you're selling the hair care to. Or what I find is like they start launching new products and they're like, oh, this is because I wanted to launch it. Did your customer want it? Were they willing to pay for it?
Right. We got to remove ourselves a lot more.
We have to take ourselves out of the process. And actually, I've had a few brands who were in my course, and I've helped them narrow down their products. And you'd be surprised how much space they open up just in their marketing, in their mind, and just everything when they get rid of certain products that are not selling, that they're just holding on to. They're like, oh, people are still buying them. I'm like, well, how many people? Once every 6 months?
That's not enough.
Like, get it out of here, right? So yes, hero product, launch with a hero product. I was actually just at a event this weekend in LA, Cosmicon.
Yeah.
And there was a brand there. They had one product that you could buy. Talk about focus. Talk about, focus, right?
Yeah.
Focusing on one product and selling it to that target customer. It's so much easier to do than trying to sell 18 different products to 50 different people.
Right. Because I feel like you had to market it different. The conversation would be different behind each
Mm-hmm.
product. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, Tara, what's next for you? What you got going on?
Woo, girl, what's next? We got a few things going on. I told you a few things. I don't know if I'm ready to share yet.
Share what you're willing to share.
Yeah, we got some exciting things happening over on this end. More will be announced soon. I am also doing some VIP days because some people slacked and did not get their strategies in place. So I'm working with a few brands on VIP days for the rest of the year. And getting people into the course, right? If you are ready to get your brain on the right track for even the rest of this year, the rest of 2021 and into 2022, now is the perfect time for you to enroll into the course, which is Position to Profit. That's what's next. And then there's a couple secrets in there. Aquia, you know about it, but I'm not going to announce it yet because, y'all just going to have to lock in and pay attention and get more details.
Okay. So definitely stay tuned to Tara. What are you working on your legacy to be? Like when this is all said and done, like what do you want people to say about you?
I was like, girl, you got these good questions. I want people to say that I made an impact in my community by helping other women grow their businesses and attain economic freedom. That's the ultimate goal for me. If I can help other women attain their goal of economic freedom, some people call it generational wealth, right? Whatever. That is what I want people to say about me.
This has been such a great interview. Like, I'm really appreciative of your time, your expertise. This is something I know I'm going to listen back to because I know for sure with me, marketing and advertising, when I do like my own personal assessment of myself and my brand, I feel like those are the two things that is holding me back from like getting to my goal. So I know that's something I have to like really like zero in on. So I know I'm gonna listen to this episode like a whole bunch of times.
Play it back. Play it as many times as you need. Make some notes. Get your pen out. You know, this is for everybody. Get your pen out because this is a good one.
Absolutely. But before you go, I have to ask you the Friends in Beauty rapid fire questions.
Okay. And I have my answer to my question from earlier.
Oh, right. What is it?
Yeah. So I'm not a makeup person, but I put on some eyeshadow for y'all today. I don't know if you can see it.
Okay. I did notice it though. I did. I said she got something on her eyes.
Use makeup. And I was like, let me put on. I was watching YouTube tutorials last night and everything. It was the funniest thing. I was like, I gotta put on a little, something.
Well, the good thing is that you have amazing skin. So
thank you.
Get away with a whole bunch. You could throw on a lip and look like you did something.
Thank you.
Yes. So with the rapid fire questions, just whatever comes to your mind first, just throw it out.
Okay.
All right. So what are the top 3 keys to your success so far?
Top 3 keys to my success: mindset, willingness, and the ability to take action quickly.
I love the willingness part. Number 2, how do you measure your success?
I measure my success by the people that I impact. And like I said earlier, it's based upon seeing my clients succeed without me. I don't want them to have to come back to me every year. I want them to be able to do this for themselves.
Love that. What's the best advice that you've ever received?
Everything that you already need. Everything that you need is already within reach. And so it's up to you to go out there and grab it.
Gotcha. What advice would you give to someone who has tried, launching their beauty brand or their beauty products and it just is not working out for them? They're like, I'm ready to throw in the towel. Like, this is not it. Like, what advice would you give to that person other than like, girl, enroll in my program? Like,
So I would say you always have to have a why that's bigger than you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have a purpose. You have to be very, very clear on your vision, because that is what's going to keep you going, right? It could be money. It could be, you know, taking a vacation. It could be something as big as mine, right? Like helping women reach economic freedom. That's bigger than me. It's way bigger than me. It's beyond me, right? It's beyond me now.
Yeah.
So that's something that I wake up every day with it on my mind. And so you have to find what your why is. What is your purpose? What are you doing this for? That's bigger than you. That's going to get you up out of bed every day to say, okay, it's not working right now, but I'm going to figure it out.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What's a resource that has helped you in your business that you can share with the Friends in Beauty community?
Not necessarily a resource. I think what has helped me is, and I was talking to a girlfriend about this, right? So when I was in corporate, networking was like the thing, right? But I used to hate it. I hated it. And I hated it because I didn't enjoy the spaces that I was in. But I will say your best resource is the people that you're connected to, right? And so it's not some group or some club or anything like that. It's like, who are you connecting yourself to? Mm-hmm. And that can be as simple as sending a voice note to someone and saying, hey, I would like to connect with you. Can I get 15 minutes of your time to have a conversation? Sending a message, right? It's about the network.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. So the last one, I love networking. So I love meeting new people all the time. Anyway,
I love it now, but when I was in corporate, I used to be like, oh my gosh.
And the Friends,
it was like it was like a boys club too. I was in most of my corporate jobs environments, it was more like a boys club, and I didn't enjoy it. So
that's one thing I pride myself on with the Friends in Beauty events, the networking events. They feel more like a party. So like it kind of tricks your mind. Like you're really networking, but you having fun too.
Turn up.
Yes, turn up. So the last one, I want you to fill in the blank and just say, my name is blank, and the key to longevity and success is like whatever you think it is.
My name is Tara Paton, and the key to longevity and success is perseverance.
Ooh, I love it. So before you go, share all of your social media info and how people could find out more and enroll in your course. Perfect.
So you can find me on Instagram, primarily Instagram, at Tara Soether, so TaraSoether. And you can also visit my website, so www.tarapaton.com, where you can find more information about my program. But if you're like, hey, I just want to get to the program, you can go to www.position2profit.co, and that's positioned with an ED, to profit.co. You can learn more about the program. There's also a free training that I have there for you to get access to, which drops a lot of gems, like information that you can implement into your business today. So those are the best places to find me, and I look forward to connecting with y'all. Yay. Thank you so much for your time, Tara. Thank you so much. This was fun. It was like we were on the couch together. So I really appreciate that. Yay, I love that.
Thanks for listening to the Friends in Beauty podcast. Don't forget, sharing is caring. Share this episode with at least one friend in beauty, and subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts so that other friends in beauty can find this show. Plus, we'd love to hear your feedback. Connect with us on all social media platforms at Friends in Beauty, #Friends in Beauty to join the conversation, and join our Friends in Beauty Facebook community to stay connected. Talk to you soon.